Aloha and hello out there, everybody. What's going on? This is Miho with the Too Close to Call podcast series, joined, as always, by my father, Chris Mihalik, for the Pitt Panther podcast series. And Pops, let me ask you this. Are you still alive? Did you make it through last night? I'm worried in your condition, your old age, your heart. You're not going to be able to take this as we move into week 3 of fourth quarter comebacks for your Pitt Panthers.
Well, Miho, as always, thank you for having me on board. And yes, I am doing fine. And more importantly, I just want everybody and all of our listeners to know that I did fix the remote control that I broke last night when I threw it on the floor during the fourth quarter collapse there.
Good. So,
I know everyone was worried about that, but yes, so I did fix the remote control.
Excellent. But which direction do you want to go? Ups, downs, a lot to talk about. Do you want to go timeline of game, offense, defense? How the hell do you want to attack that, man?
Well, I'm not. You're right. We can approach this a lot of different ways, but first of all, having a little Philadelphia spin on this, our beloved Eagles, our Birds, gave me exactly what I needed today, a day off. I did not want to get emotionally involved in this Eagle game because honestly, I was spent from last night. I was totally spent. So our Birds came through with a nice solid ass kicking and didn't have to get emotionally involved today.
Yeah, well, not local to the Pittsburgh crowd because as of time of recording, they are heading into free football at Heinz Field at 23-23 here. So big game, obviously. 1-3 Steelers, 2-2 Ravens, but that's besides the point. We're talking Saturday. We're talking Pitt Panthers, and ultimately a 4-2 Pitt Panther team.
It's the bottom line, isn't it?
That's it.
4-2 going into a bye.
That's
heading up to a big showdown with the Qs up in the Dome in a couple of weeks. That'll be a good one. But yeah, let's talk about last night. And it definitely was the tale of two halves, wasn't it?
Oh my God, right? 19-3, I think, was the halftime score, and Pitt there was a time where they had 2 turnovers in 2 plays. Correct. And they had 2 turnovers in 3 games or something like that beforehand. And I'm going, oh my God, they're putting it all together. The defense is finally going to be strong and get the turnovers. The offense is going to capitalize on short fields, and they're finally going to blow somebody out.
That's the way it was looking, wasn't it? And then we decided to be generous in the second half and give the ball right back to Duke.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it all started with the punt return. Why is Paris Ford returning that punt and not French?
I don't know the rationale behind that, but obviously he's been back there practicing. And the other question, of course, everyone knows that today is, why is he even trying to catch that ball on the 5-yard line when you're up by 3 touchdowns?
Right.
Or 24 points, whatever it was at the time. Just let the ball bounce. If it goes in the end zone, fine. If it doesn't, fine. Just get out of the way.
It's tough, man, because this lends into a kind of a bigger conversation around the Pitt-Duke game, kind of Pitt football in general, just because Paris Ford is the type of player, athlete to where he's catching that ball. If he has a chance to put the ball in his hands and make a play, he doesn't give a shit that it's his own 3-yard line. He's going to catch the football and try to make a play because he's Paris Ford. He's a baller. That's all he's ever done. Same with defense. Huge hits, turnovers. Well, now we got a target penalty because he's trying to cause a turnover. Maurice French on the offensive side of the football. Clearly a little bit amped up. We got a first down inside Duke's 15. He decides to get up in the guy's face, point first down. Boop, 15 yards, penalty. Back it up. And it's a fine balance of intensity and emotion win football games. But if you take it just too far and you beat yourself,
which they did last night,
and you play stupid, and it all started from the pregame warmups, man. What's the deal with the Pitt-Duke hostility here?
I don't know. What? I don't know where that came from. I saw that on TV, and I'm going, what is that all about? I don't remember anything in the past that would have spurred this on. I certainly didn't see anything in the press this week about any barbs going back and forth. Really don't know. But, boy, it really set the tone for early in the game because it was a chippy first half.
You're right. And that's where I think ultimately it's more of a positive than it is a negative for the Panthers because in years past, they haven't had anybody who you looked at and just dripped with swagger. Right. Like, there wasn't one dude where you looked at him and you said, holy shit, that dude can ball.
Yeah,
that's a player.
absolutely.
That's a guy I want to follow. That's a guy I want to be around. And it's clear as day defensively, Paris Ford is that guy as he leads the team in tackles for another week, scores a touchdown, has a pick six, has another interception. Obviously, everybody's going to raise their energy and intensity to that player's level because he's not only leading emotionally, but in the stat category as well.
Absolutely right. But I will say you probably have to go back maybe 3 or 4 years to a gentleman by the name of Aaron Donald. He would be that type of guy.
He was quiet, man.
You know,
he didn't yell at you.
No,
he didn't get in your face.
But he was. You know, you can't question his performance.
But that's what I'm saying. Like dripping with swagger. That wasn't Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald showed up, brought his lunch pail, and went to work. Aaron Donald didn't let you know while he was kicking your ass.
To me, that's why Aaron Donald had his own swagger. It may not have been as outgoing as a Paris Ford or as a French, but Aaron Donald certainly had a swagger when he walked on that field.
Yeah, but that doesn't rub off on a defense. That defense did not epitomize Aaron Donald as a personality. This defense is flying around. This defense is hitting you in the mouth.
Yes,
this defense is in your face defensively after they make every play. This defense, if they're making mistakes, they're doing it aggressively. Even the linebacker who got beat for the touchdown at the end of the game was flying up thinking the running back's going to be blocking because he's been blocking all night. It was a heck of a call by the Duke coach to have him fake block and sneak past him. And it's the first time in forever I'm going, wow. Even when they're making mistakes, this is a fun football team to watch. There's speed, there's intensity, there's attitude. And offensively, again, Maurice French, he gives you a little bit of that, a little bit too much at times. Who else is there? Taysir Mack,
you saw the sideline situation after that French penalty, right?
And that's where I like with Narduzzi. He obviously knows you can't take it that far, but we've all seen the pregames. We've all seen the halftimes.
Sure.
He's screaming at his guys. Penn State doesn't respect you. He's throwing footballs, so it is very much of intensity, but there's that fine line of minus 15, minus 15, minus 15. And that's where I think it is more good than bad. Because honestly, these last 3 or 4 games, I don't think Pitt's in any of these games without playing with the emotional intensity they have.
No question about it. And obviously they did not have that last week against Delaware, and it showed.
Right.
They just came out, as you mentioned earlier, with their lunch pail and pretty much shut Delaware down the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
But, but you're absolutely right. And really, it started week 1 against Virginia. They had some swagger against Virginia, but I think it actually grew from there. And I think when they went to Creepy Valley there for week 3, that that defense showed the swagger. That's when they really, I think, kind of made a name for themselves was that game, and that swagger has pretty much continued up until this point.
Right. And I think it's going to keep continuing to move. It has to. Where
it has to, yes.
On the road, you just got to watch yourself sometimes because obviously the Zebras were feeling that Pitt was dictating the chippiness of the game.
Yeah, you could say that.
Due to 15 penalties for the guys in white, and I think it was 4 for the gentlemen in blue all evening.
4 or 3 or something like that. I can't quite remember, but there was...
they got one late in the game, and I remember going, oh, baby!
Exactly right. But the aggressiveness, it's definitely caught the referee's attention. As you know, Kevin, I referee basketball. And I know there's a lot of fans, posting stuff that these ACC officials are out for Pitt, and that's just bullshit. Okay, but Pitt's style of play is something that I'm sure these officials are talking about in the pregame.
Sure,
especially from the defensive backs, the clutch and the holding, because that's
what
they
handsy.
do. They're man. They're right. They're
handsy.
Exactly. That's what they do. And sometimes they get away with it. Sometimes they don't. But let's talk about the little elephant in the room as far as those penalties go. The Paris Ford hit.
Yep.
Did not agree with it at all. I mean, I don't know what you want the kid to do. Did not lead with the helmet. Did not jump from his feet leading with his helmet. Clearly hit him with the shoulder.
It was high on a defenseless receiver,
Defenseless receiver that caught the ball, came down and took a step. If that's your definition of defenseless, well, then you could say that about a lot of players in football today.
It very much is because that call was confirmed. Both announcers said this is automatic. I don't know what we're looking at. And all the Pitt fans are going, what are you talking about? It's shoulder to shoulder. Exactly. And apparently everybody who does it every day is going, yeah, this is done. They're done. It's 2019. It's tough. Like you said, I guess he's got to go low and blow out knees. It's what you got to do.
I guess unless you're
can't hit him in the shoulder, can't hit him in the chest. You got to go low. You got to blow out knees because you're not going to get flagged for it.
Evidently right.
It was, man. 14 for Pitt. The roughing the passer call there late where the guy pushed him and he kind of dove.
And the horse collar call.
Yeah, the horse collar.
That was another horrible call, and it was numbing. It was as a Pitt fan last night, it was very frustrating to watch. I mean, even the first half, when things were going our way, it was frustrating.
Yeah, not enough.
Because I kept saying, we got these turnovers, and really we're going to walk away with 7 points?
Right.
And I think we ultimately walked away with 10 or 13 from that.
Yeah, I think it was 10.
Right? It's like, you need more than that. And then you have the debacle over the extra point.
Yes.
Right? Where Duke jumps off sides. Granted, I guess they made contact. That's why we have to do it again. And, of course, Pitt fans, how many of you were thinking, he's missing this.
Yep.
He's missing this. And sure enough, he missed it. And Kevin, they got to change that rule. On a play like that, you can't be taking a point off the board. The coach, Narduzzi or the offensive coach has to have the ability to say, we're declining it. We'll take the point.
Right. Well, the ball should have never been snapped, so he could have missed the first one and made the second one. Like, he should have never been able to kick it for a point to be on the board to take off.
Right, but
that's the rule.
It's bang bang.
Right,
it's bang bang.
Exactly.
But
right. That's the tough part. But in standard NCAA football, it shouldn't fucking matter an extra point from the 1.5 we're talking about here. We're complaining. Just make the goddamn kick.
Hey, he did come through and make 2 kicks yesterday.
He did.
So that was good to see.
And I know Narduzzi talked about it was a holding issue, and on the extra point, the snap came in really inside. And it looked like the hold was down inside too, and then he pushes it right, which obviously, that kind of all makes sense as you're visualizing it at home. But
Absolutely right.
19-3 at halftime.
And I'm pissed.
And you're pissed.
Right?
You texted me, you called me, and I knew it. I know the answers, guys. I have the answers out there, okay, if you're listening. You ask me, it's 19-3. Why am I pissed? I said, A, because it could be worse, should be worse.
Right.
And B, the defense, you're not fully invested that, the defense isn't going to give this up. And what's that? 3 offensive turnovers in their own side of the field. We had the 4-year-old touchdown. We talked about that after the muff punt. That was what that led to. Then you had a fumble not soon after, I believe, by one of the tight ends, which led to a 23-yard touchdown. And then they had a 44-yard touchdown or something later in the game. So here we are again. People reading the box score, looking at the paper, going 30 points. Pitt's defense must have really struggled today.
Right, exactly right.
Nope, 3 touchdown drives for a total of 65 yards.
Exactly.
Like, unbelievable, man.
And back to back to back.
Yes.
Right? I mean, quick turnarounds, back to back, So, yeah, it was extremely disappointing. And here's where I was getting frustrated, and I had serious concerns was Duke scored touchdowns off of every one of those turnovers.
Well, when you're 20 yards away, dude.
And we didn't.
I just, oh my God.
And that was the frustrating part. Let's address something else there in that second half.
Okay.
Let's give credit to Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
All right. Struggled. Okay. I thought he made some bad decisions again. He probably would say the same thing.
Okay.
A couple of times I thought he was throwing off the back foot again, which is a bad habit he has.
He floats.
A couple of times he ran into a sack.
All right.
Again.
He floats.
Some of the old Kenny Pickett stuff. But hey, minute and a half to go in that game, 80-yard drive for the win. That's huge. That is absolutely
It really
fantastic.
Was amazing.
Coming of age, the kid's coming of age.
I'm going to pull it up here.
And you need that. You absolutely needed him to do it, and he came through and did it.
I'm going to pull it up here because the first play was a roughing the passer, if I'm remembering correctly. They went from their own 17 to 32.
Actually, I think there were 2 personal foul penalties on Duke.
Is that what it was? Because the next play, they hit Mac. Hold on. Give me 1 second here, everybody. I'll pull it up. 4 plays. Pickett incomplete. Yep. Okay. 1st and 10. Complete to Taysir Mack for 12 yards. Then pass complete to Aaron Matthews for 23 yards. That was the one over the middle.
Who, by the way, needs to see the ball more.
Yep. Right. And then the next play, complete to Maurice French. Illegal touching. Oh, that's where he went out of bounds.
Yes.
On the next play. And then the play after that, Shockey, Jacques Louis for 6 yards. 3rd and 4, the long play to Carter. So, few things coming off of that, off of Kenny Pickett. One, you're absolutely right. It was unbelievable how... Okay, let me rephrase this, because as I'm thinking through mentally, I'm working through different thoughts. But Duke's defense, what are you doing on this last drive?
Right. Absolutely right.
They just went into prevent, gave it up. They didn't bring anybody.
Nope.
He had all day to throw the football for the first time in 2.5 hours of real time.
Gave everything up underneath.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. They took the 15, then the out route, then they had the crossing route to Matthews, and Jacques St. Louis, and then, okay, it's 3rd and 5. Now, this is another thing. This is credit to Mark Whipple, because the past 2 times they had been in 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 10. Duke was bringing the house both times.
Yes.
One of them turned into a false start penalty, which led to 3rd and 14, and they no longer brought the house on 3rd and 14, but they were coming. The next one, they brought it again, and I think it was an incompletion down the sideline or something, but okay, 3rd and 5. Dog's a dog, dude. He's coming.
Right.
What do we do? Oh, how'd they just get us? Take the back, put him on the linebacker, have him fake block, sneak past him, boom, boom, boom. Same
Touchdown.
play going the other way, man.
And, they've been working really hard to get Carter isolated out in the flat. And for the first time all year, they finally got him with a little bit of space that he can utilize his speed.
We saw that B-button spin move, man.
Yeah, that was nice.
Whoop,
that was nice. And,
whoop, Berman. Whoop.
And again, all you Pitt fans, you are absolutely yelling at the TV, he better score and not get tackled at the 2-yard line or something.
Hey, and credit to French there, getting in the guy's
block.
way.
Great
and
block.
Also, I was thinking to myself, block that guy, block that guy, block that guy. And credit to Maurice French, because I don't know the exact rule due to the intensity of the block, but you're not allowed to turn around towards your own line of scrimmage to block. So if he turns around and blocks that guy running at him,
it's a cutback
while
block,
he's going the other
which
way.
They were called on twice.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he continued to run, but just got in the guy's way. And I'm going, block him. I thought he was just trailing, being like, woohoo, we're going to score. And I'm like, no, dude, that guy's going to catch him if you don't get in the way.
Right.
And he stayed facing forward and just got in the way. So it was a heck of a play, because I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, man, he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, exactly,
okay.
Exactly.
So that, because that happened earlier, like you said. And I'm going, oh, man, I don't know if he just turns and gets run over, if it's the same rule, because, obviously they're trying to eliminate the blindside type blocks. And the guy would have saw him coming and everything. So I don't know exactly, but I think that's why he didn't turn around.
Which was called as well.
Yeah, so that was a heck of a play by him there. But overall, man, coming up on time. We'll keep it a little bit short here with the bye week coming up. Strictly reaction pod here. We'll get to you guys with the Syracuse preview next week, early in the week. But 4-2 Pitt Panthers.
4-2 Pitt Panthers.
1-1 in the conference.
Big win. That was a big win.
Big win. How we feeling overall? Looking in the rearview mirror, also looking forward. Take me through your thoughts here early in the month of October.
I'm really positive with the future here. There's not a team with a winning record, I believe, on Pitt's schedule. Overall winning record.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm sorry. In the conference, I'm talking about the conference. So it's all out there. I mean, the teams that got to play, they may even be favored or a slight underdog. Okay, so
every game's gonna be winnable.
Absolutely.
It's also gonna be losable.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's great. Here's the best part. They're 4-2, and the offense still isn't there.
Right.
Okay. If this offense figures it out, hey, Maurice French, stop dropping passes. Okay?
Stop running sideways, too.
Stop running sideways. Cut it up on those jet sweeps. I mean, he's a talented kid, but there's room for improvement with him. Absolutely. All right. So this offense, they can be so much better. And if they can, look out. This team has the capability of finishing very strong the rest of the year.
The key to this offense may be Aaron Matthews, because I had posted some things in the group earlier where you guys are listening to this on Facebook, but Taysir Mack had 16 targets, French had 12. The next guy was Mihalik Carter with 4, and one of them was on the last offensive play of the football game.
Right.
So you're looking at 3 targets for the next guy, so it's clear as day. Pitt's offense, Maurice French underneath, because his yards per catch is like 5.
Or a little wide screen.
Little out, so he's clearly your quick game.
Yep.
Then Taysir Max, you're deep over the middle guy. He runs those deep outs, deep crosses, deep whatever. So, and Max, you're really only true deep threat as well. He's the only guy they've really thrown it to down there. Yes, he's made a ton of plays on him, so there's your guy. But that's it. Deep, Mac. Short, French. Everybody else, let them take what they can get. Tight ends, they fumbled again. They had a couple catches.
Yep.
The running backs out of the backfield, they're trying to get Carter. You're okay. I mean, they were without their top 2 running backs once again, the Davises.
Yes.
Not related, but the Davises both out. Todd Sibley had a strong game, I thought. I don't know if strong's probably a little too positive.
I would have liked to seen him touch the ball a little bit more in the running game again.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen him more than Carter, because I don't know if Carter is your typical I formation 47 slant type
he's
of.
not.
And they ran a few of those.
They did, and they did. They ran him through in between the tackles.
Right.
Which really surprised me.
Yeah, some smash plays and whatnot.
Exactly.
So
give me Sibley in those scenarios.
As successful as Pitt's offense is or could be, that's where I'm just thinking when you say, it's going to be up to them to truly kind of take that next step. I don't know if it's there this year. I don't know if I see it. Who's going to step up that we haven't seen? Like, where would it all of a sudden come from? We're 5 weeks, 6 weeks in here. You are what your record is. The defense, the Pitt defense is really good. We've seen that.
Really
we have the defensive line, strong. Okay, offensively. Pitt runs the ball. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're going to throw short to French, deep to Mac. That's it. That's all you got.
You say they run the ball okay. I mean, really, you had your number 1 and 2 guys out the last 2 weeks.
Right.
So that's, 2 out of the 6 games. So, I mean, I think the jury's
But your
still
1
out.
and 2 guys were not super impressive to begin with.
I think the jury's still out on the potential of the number 1 and of the Davises and what they can bring to the table, as well as this running game.
Well, then you are more optimistic.
Oh, I am. I absolutely am.
Because I think we've seen what it is. There's no game changer at running back. There's no guy who's going to hit a hole, take it to the house, 75 yards.
Well, that's Carter. Carter will do that, but he's got to get to the hole.
It's not going to be on a handoff.
There's no holes. There's no holes.
Right.
But they try to get him the ball in space, like I mentioned earlier, but he can do that. He can definitely do that.
So that's where Pitt, I don't think, has enough big play capability. They have to sustain drives. Yes, they can get the 20, 25-yard pass.
Right.
They're not hitting the 75-yard touchdown pass. So unless the defense gives them short fields with turnovers, which they've done the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even going back to the UCF game, and they've won the football games because of it. Right. The defense didn't give them turnovers. The offense has to go the length of the field. Pitt's not winning a football game. Honestly, I think it may be as elementary as that's still moving forward. If Pitt gets the ball on their own 25 every time during the game, they're not scoring more than 20 points.
Well, I mean, obviously, what you've seen so far agrees with what you're saying there, okay?
Right? So if you think it's different, you're going on something we haven't seen that's not factual. It's optimism. It's hope.
It's not. I mean, look at the penalties. Look at the drop balls. I know that we continue to see that. But my opinion, there's going to come a game where all that's not there, and you're going to see this offense put up some points. There's too much talent. They just got to figure it out and put it all together.
I'll give you this. There may be a game. It's not going to be every game.
I think it may be a game or 2 or 3.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so because it hasn't happened. So you may get a game, but we know French is going to drop a football.
Financial institutions, Kevin, okay, past performance does not reflect future performance.
There you go.
Okay,
right.
So there you are. There you are. Okay, so
that's right.
I think the talent's there for them to consistently put up 24 to 31 points a game. And with that defense that we have, that should win us a lot of football games going down the stretch here.
Yeah. I don't think the offense is that good. I think they're better than last year, but there's nobody on Pitt's offense who scares me.
They're
if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm not looking at that offense going, any of these guys jumping off the film. Which one of those guys is jumping off the film going, we need to stop this guy. This guy's really impressive.
To Sirmac.
Yeah, that's
to your point. I mean,
right, and that's okay, cool. He's good. He's becoming a really good receiver, but like he is not a game breaker. He's not. No matter who you put on him, the guy's going to get open. He's not to that level. So they're going to need to win as a team, and they're losing as a team too. You saw that in the first half. Turnovers lead to offense, leads to touchdowns. Second half, bullshit offense leads to terrible defense, leads to losses. It's going to be a team effort at Pitt because none of the units are truly, truly good enough to carry them, and we saw that. We thought it would be the defense. 3 turnovers, short fields, touchdowns every time for Duke.
Yeah, that's.
Do you know what I'm saying?
As good as the defense has been, that has been a problem for them this year. Like, these quick turnarounds and keeping the other team off the
3-and-out field goal.
Right,
like
exactly,
it's just it's a whole team game. And the turnovers are coming. Pitt got 6 of them, only gave up 4 of them. And hell, even if it's 0-2 or 4-6 plus 2 in the turnover battle after 59 minutes and 59 seconds should be good enough. Because after 58 minutes and 35 seconds, it wasn't. Okay. Because we were +1 at that point, by the way. We were +1. So, but, oh, man, everybody exhale. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Iron City Lights last night.
Exactly.
We here on the East Coast enjoyed the Macallan 12 Scotch. It was quite tasty.
Bingo.
Quite tasty. So catch your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Pitt football for the month of September was fantastic. If nothing, entertaining.
It's been entertaining.
Right?
It has been extremely entertaining.
If you haven't been in to see your doctor in the past 28 days, please do so.
That would be a good time.
Get your blood pressure reassessed because there's been some changes in your personal life the past month. But anyway, everybody, thanks for listening out there in the Pitt Panther Fanatics Facebook groups where we're posting. And like I said, we'll be back next week with some Syracuse preview, maybe a little bit of health status on some of the guys that were dinged up. Like we said,
by the way,
Davises.
can we touch on that a little bit real quick before
we wrap it up, man. Wrap it up.
Narduzzi took some criticism for the Delaware game about these injuries, or supposedly injuries. Well, like we mentioned, the Davises didn't play, Pinnock didn't play, Reynolds didn't play.
The only one was Pickett.
The only one was Pickett.
And we both agreed out of the bunch that, he was banged up.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So evidently these guys were truly hurt. That we just didn't rest them.
Right.
So,
3 straight fourth quarter comebacks. Pitt football. 2 votes in the AP poll at this time. Currently ranked 36th in the nation.
I think we're 2 wins away from getting ranked.
Syracuse and then
Miami.
Yeah, you beat Miami. You'll probably be in just based on name.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
shitty because I don't even think they're that good. But
nobody knows.
Beating Syracuse isn't going to do you anything anymore after their stretch of Maryland.
Virginia Tech's embarrassing performance against Duke, and then they come and play really well against Miami.
Yeah, they're listeners of the pod. Obviously, they heard your spiel on them. Give it up and shit show
down there in Hokie Land. Exactly right. So exactly right. But hey, even they tried to give that away.
Oh God,
it's crazy football. It's
fun conference.
It is,
and I think honestly. I think a lot of the teams are better than we thought they were, although none of them may be great.
Yes.
But I think Duke's better than I thought. I think Pitt's better than I thought. Miami, Virginia Tech, they're all in a bunch. And that's where I said Pitt could win or lose any of these games depending on turnovers, decisions, penalties. That's why you got to tune in, man, because there are no more cupcakes. There are no more for sure L's. Reading the schedule. It's going to be entertaining down the stretch.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to continuing the pod with you, Miho.
Absolutely. But thanks for listening, everybody. We'll wrap it up here Monday morning. You're probably listening to this Tuesday or Wednesday. We appreciate it. Too close to call. Check us out. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twittersphere. Obviously, we're on the Facebook group. We'll be interacting. We'd love to hear from you guys. But as always, thanks for listening.
Ali Kanak and hail to Pitt.
Peace.